We have ways to banish such darkness. The path of
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Chaos Within podcast.
With a little extra chaos, because while I do not have it in my cold, happy little hands, I did get the digital copy of Assassin's Creed Shadows. So we're going to be doing our own reviews on this, making sure that we talk through our feelings. Just going to preface this with, if you don't like the game, you don't have to tell us about it in the comments. We don't care. That's real. We don't care. Where do you want to start, John?
Before we get into it, I just want to say, because there's actually somebody out there who cares about us talking about Daredevil. Because there wasn't a lot to go on with Daredevil this week, we're just going to push that to next week and do 2 episodes at one time. This week, we're just going to do all Assassin's Creed. And
some fun tips on how to do your first 24-hour stream.
Yes. So Assassin's Creed Shadows. At this point in my life, I have played 11 hours and 4 minutes of Assassin's Creed.
Lightweight.
I got to the point of playing as Sasuke. I ran around. Yes.
Sasuke?
I always say Sasuke. I don't know why this happened to me all of a sudden. Yasuke, playing as Yasuke, and also being able to free roam around as Yasuke. That is where I am pretty much just right after you kill. Spoilers just in case. Right after you kill
that one dude.
Guy. After you kill that one guy and you open up the world to play as Yasuke, that is exactly where I'm at in the game. Overall, with this Assassin's Creed Shadows, there's a lot I like. There's some stuff I dislike about it. I like the story so far. I like them getting together. I'm early in the game, so my thoughts can change eventually. But as of right now, I'm enjoying it. I like what brought them together. I feel like this whole first 10 hours of the game is basically a prologue. I did watch your stream, but I'm happy I watched your stream the way I was watching it, because a lot of the stuff that I was seeing, I was like, I heard this, but now seeing it, I feel like I understand it so much better. So I personally right now, I know it just started, but I don't really feel an obligation to play as Yasuke. Like I feel like I want to pull him out if I get into like a boss encounter and just say, hey, I have this heavy hitter that I can pull out and go like that. But otherwise, I just love running around as Naue so much more than Yasuke. It's just like with her running, just like her running through a forest, running on a path period. Like I don't even use the horse sometimes. I may take that extra 10 minutes to get to a destination just to run. Like if my Naue could get fit, her legs would be telling you. But I just feel like Yasuke, I feel like his side of the game is not really entirely thought out. The Ghost of Tsushima references that even like I was talking about leading up to game, I don't even really feel like that's the case. I don't really feel like this game plays like Ghost of Tsushima at all. Even playing as Yasuke, I just feel like if you play Ghost of Tsushima, you know how that game plays. If you come to these comments talking about it's just like Ghost of Tsushima, you did not play Ghost of Tsushima. Yasuke is just a heavy hitter. He's clunky, but after like taking the story in and saying he's clunky with purpose, because he's a samurai that's not really a samurai. Like he's a samurai that has so much power behind him, and
he's huge.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who comment
a 7-foot bulky man.
Exactly.
He's 7 feet tall. 7 feet tall.
Yep. So it's like when you take
feudal man, back when people typically the average height was even less.
Yeah, he towers
just
over.
Point
like
that out.
In a cutscene. Like every cutscene, he basically towers over everybody.
It's like here's everybody else, and here's Justin.
So it's like even with like his sword, the sword play, it just feels like, all right, he's gonna hit him, break a guard, and then after that, you take that opportunity to get it. Because I don't want to hog the spotlight. I'm gonna let you jump in.
All right. So my opinion probably a little bit more detailed, because I'm actually exactly 36 hours into the game. I have a lot of feelings. There's a lot of good. I don't really think there's a lot of bad. For me, first, the story pulled me in immediately. It had that classic, like, this terrible moment happens, and now like she's on a revenge quest, but she starts to realize that maybe having that as her main purpose might not exactly be the right thing, because she's starting to feel like, okay, I got revenge, but why don't I feel better about it? And then she's starting to understand like everybody's playing a role in everyone's life, and that like that part where her and Yasuke come together and how that all works out is such a perfect illustration of, you are just as bad. You are doing the same kinds of things that he's doing. So if you can't forgive him, then I can't forgive you. And I was like, damn, like
I love
that
the
was
line.
so deep. Like,
When
give me the katana next.
Yes. So he said, if you use it, give it to me next. I was like, damn.
And that's when she realized that she was just as bad, because everybody plays a role in someone else's life, and you don't know how you're impacting it until you get to that point. I will say that I like playing with both characters, and here's why. When you go through Yasuke's part of the story quest, you get so much of the backstory of how he became Yasuke. Because if you remember at the beginning of the game, they called him Diogo. And for the longest time, they called him Diogo. And then he eventually, ends up with the name Yasuke. You actually get the full story behind that. And you start to understand his motivations for why he's doing what he's doing. And I love that they included that. Is he an assassin? No, not by any means. But I also like that the game is very self-aware with that. Like, he's not going to do any stealth. If you try to walk on a rope, you're falling through. You jump off those spots into the hay bale, you're busting your ass. And the hay bale's going to be gone. Like, you're going to flatten it, because he's a giant 7-foot man. But he has his own purpose. Like, I like using him when it's his story parts. I'll use him. If I just don't feel like stealthing my way through a castle, I just get Yasuke walking through the front door and mow them down as I see them. Let them all run at me. Like, I don't care. But that's also kind of how I played the first Assassin's Creed, but like with combos and parries. Like, I would get myself into a massive group of people and be like, all right, like, who wants it? Who's next? So like, it kind of brings me back to that, because I don't think that that's an area where Naoe really shines. Naoe, when she gets surrounded, she gets overwhelmed really easily because she's squishy. She's a ninja. She's not built for those kinds of hits. So I like using him for that. Sometimes it's just cool, just walk around being like the big bulky dude, like Ronin pop out. I don't care. Come up, let's go, square up. I'm ready. But I also like playing with him with the Naginata instead. I like that the reach on that weapon makes it even harder to hit him unless someone else is using it. So it's like, not only will it not really hurt me when you hit me, but you're also probably not going to get close enough because I'm going to cut you up. So I'm just saying. And the way he assassinates is brutal, but that man is not stealthy. So it's real hard to get those off sometimes.
It's on the weapon side of things, I just got I don't know what it's called. I ain't even going to try to pronounce it. I don't remember. The hook with the ball that Naoe uses.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I love it. I love using that. Ever since I found out, I was like, forget this sword. This is my weapon of choice right here. Like, just I love just, there's a distance thing and also a close-in thing. I've had so much fun playing with that since I got it.
See, but here's the thing. So I love fighting with Naoe as well. And it's because of how fluid she is with her movements. The way she can move around so quickly, she kind of dances around her opponents. And my favorite combo is having the katana and having the tanto. The tanto moves, like when she's fighting with the tanto, she moves so stinking fast. Like, she's unstoppable. She's twirling, she's running, she's doing whatever she needs to do. And I think that that's amazing. That's also how you get the double assassination as well, if you have to have the tanto equipped. But I will say, I love playing with Naoe as well. I love her story. I love how fluid it is. I love the world that they've created around the characters. I have like, there's so much feeling and emotion behind everything that's happening. You can feel like her pain. You can feel her joy when she has joy. Everything makes sense in this game. Is it an Assassin's Creed game? Hell yeah. This is the best stealth system we've ever gotten. Are you kidding me? I can go underwater with a freaking straw to roll up on somebody, and this isn't a good stealth system? It's amazing. I can go prone and crawl under a building. Like, I can stab somebody from grass, and they won't even see it coming.
Going prone alone.
Going prone alone. Like, not even all that other stuff, but going prone alone is just like, this is Assassin's Creed. When I play with Naoe, this is Assassin's Creed. When I play with Yasuke, is it Assassin's Creed still? Yeah, because I'm still hunting down the same people. It's just not, I'm not going to get that assassin kind of feel. But that's the point. He's supposed to be different. This is supposed to be a story, from what I see it as two opposites realizing their roles in the world and coming together to fix their wrongs. And that's how it's supposed to flow. And I love it. Is it perfect? No game is perfect. I know that I've seen a lot of complaints about the microtransactions. You don't have to buy any of that stuff, realistically. Did I buy it? Yes, because who doesn't want to have a crazy ass horse that you can't get otherwise? But the legendary weapons and stuff, you can find stuff just as good in the game, if not better, without spending anything. I'm just a sucker for good skins. The Fortnite did that to me. So like, I'm gonna do it because it's cool. Are there glitches? Yes. Have I come into anything that's really game breaking? No. In 36 hours of having the game, I've had it crash on me twice. That's it. 2 crashes. I also get like a random error every once in a while, but I just click the box and it goes away. But this is also me playing it on a PC, so that probably has something to do with it. You know, of course, NVIDIA dropped an update for my graphics card because you have a 5070 Ti the day before the game came out. And, you know, new updates have problems, so it happens. But nothing that like killed it for me. I also did get a glitch where like some of the people I was assassinating got back up and I had to kill them again, sometimes 2 more times. Probably the funniest one, which I'll give you the clip of it, John, to pop in here, was when the guy got up with no head and he was just like spurting blood, and it was just like, all right, well, this is weird, but I'll kill you again, sure. But other than that, like, I haven't seen anything game breaking in my experience. I will say that I've seen people getting a glitch where like they fly off the map, which is crazy. I haven't experienced that personally, but other than that, I haven't seen anything game breaking. The game is beautiful. The story is incredible. The story is well thought out for both characters. And yes, I know Yasuke, it feels less likely to play with him, but you know, sometimes you just want to knock down the door. And right now, being 36 hours in, there's so much of the map I haven't even touched. I mean, full transparency, during my 24-hour stream, I think it took me nearly 20 hours before I even got to the point of getting to Yasuke, because I got so distracted by the side stuff that I wasn't even on the main story, and it didn't feel like I was wasting time. I know people say that like the collectibles process in these games is annoying. I like the way that the collectibles in this game are like, you're observing nature and you're painting. I think that is so cool.
I think we should stop and speak to that, because
I love that.
I feel like that hits me a lot, because I feel like throughout the times we've talked about Assassin's Creed on this podcast, my complaint has been how overbloated the world or the game can be. Yeah. And so I'm specifically coming from Valhalla. Valhalla, somewhat Odyssey. I really enjoyed Odyssey though. Yeah. I didn't really like Valhalla as much. Valhalla just felt like there was so much do stuff. Like literally you open this small circle and there's probably like 40 different things to do in this small circles, which makes no sense. Here, I feel like this is like the complete opposite of Valhalla, and there's so much to do, but it's so spread out. It's not like overwhelming. It's not like, hey, like I could just be traveling my path and it's actually something I want to take part in. I will say that
it's not like this block has 10 things, this block has another 14 things. And,
and it's I would say like I wish for specifically like the knowledge points. I wish there was more to it. I feel like there's only 2 things, at least where it comes to knowledge point. I might be wrong about that, maybe start off again, but that is when you do the reminiscing in the past, when she does, I want to say, the prayer of just remembering the past, and then also doing the temples. I wish there was more of just variety, like just they added more stuff to do. Like I said, I haven't got.
So Yasuke has a way to earn it as well, doing katas, which is like fight practice that he's learning from other people.
Okay, so besides that,
you're not far enough yet.
I still feel like I wish there was more. I feel like there was maybe like two more things that I could do just to add more variety to it, because those being the only way to get knowledge points right now is just also like
Well, see, but here's the thing: if you don't like those mini games, you can actually turn them off.
No, I have no problem with the mini games.
No, but I'm saying this because I'm sure you're not the only person that's like, I don't really like this, or like it's not enough. You can actually set those to like either be super easy or autocomplete. So like, because I know a lot of people are like, mini games. You can autocomplete them. It's a menu setting. You just go sit for a second and it's done.
Yeah, like
But yeah,
I wish they did like give me 2 more tasks
Yeah.
on top of those. Right?
See,
Like,
but here's the
what I'm
thing.
looking for.
You need more time in the game too, because the fight system gets like the combat gets even cooler the further you get. Because like right now for Naue, I have like 3 different special abilities unlocked on my skill tree for the Tanto. Oh my god. The way that it completely changes the way I fight with her now, because it's so cool. And like with one of them, when I activate it, it slows down time and she auto dodges everything while fighting them, and it kind of slips into this like black and white comic book-esque kind of view, and when you slice them, it's bursts of red, and I think that's so freaking cool. It completely takes you out of like what's happening, and it creates a different kind of immersive experience. And I feel like that's why for me with games like this, you need more time into it before you can really do a solid review. And I think maybe as I progress through the story, I'll come back and see like if any of my thoughts have changed on it, because I'm only 36 hours in, and realistically this could easily be a 100-hour game for me.
Yeah, that's why like this point in time I'm really like firm on like I feel like there's things here sorry, that I feel like it's not going to change, but there's so much more ahead that I'm like I have to really wait before I solidify my opinion. Like I will tell you right now, the parkour system, I have issues with it. And I have issues with it specifically because I feel like there are times when it can be clunky. I feel like there's times where I'm running on a straight path and there's that, I feel like this one has the pre-planned path route. I'm on that path and she'll just suddenly come to a stop for no reason. And it's not really clear telling me why she's coming to a stop. And then she'll just take off. Like it happens. It's not like, I wouldn't say it's like, it's breaking the game for me. It's just something that's like, like, I wish they like polish in that area, like that's, I
think that might have been intentional, honestly. Because if you remember like in past Assassin's Creed games, you could climb literally anything. Like if there was a surface and there were rocks, there was like even the most minuscule edge, you can climb it. But then that ended up with us going down a lot of paths that the devs weren't really planning, and it kind of gets you really sidetracked. So it feels like in this game, they really made it more linear. Like you can get in here by climbing, but you got to go this, like one of these particular ways. And you kind of, it gives you more legwork. So it's not so easy to just be like, I'm going in there. I'm going to climb whatever random walls in front of me first. Like now you have to kind of sneak around and find which wall you're actually able to get through. You can't just do whatever you want. Which kind of adds a little bit more difficulty to the game, especially as Naue, because she is squishy, and sometimes I like the ADHD, I can't help it, especially like through that 24-hour stream. I did not take any meds. That's probably why I was able to stay awake. I had a little bit of a struggle with like staying on task and paying attention to my surroundings, because there's a lot of guards in some of these places, and there were a lot of times where I was like, oh shit, and I got caught because I was like sneaking around trying to find my way in, and there wasn't really like an accessible spot. Even with the grappling hook, like you can't grapple onto everything. Which I feel like because of how often I've encountered it, it feels intentional. Like they don't want you to just get in for anywhere. They want you to work for it a little bit.
Like my reference is you're jumping off that roof, and every roof, I'm not gonna say every, but there are some roofs that leads to trees, and it's clearly the yellow planks there. Like if I want to run straight, jump off that roof and do that, sometimes, not every time. It happens that we'll get to the edge of the roof and she'll just come to the side and stop. And it's like, just jump.
No, she can't do that.
Jump. No, yeah, but then I stay there for a few seconds, she'll jump anyway. Like instead of it just being one fluid motion, she'll just come to a complete stop. And it's like she's thinking about it, and then she'll jump. Versus there's other times when it's she'll just run and jump. It's not like I said, it's not like a
game breaker.
It's a nitpicky thing for me, I would say. Yeah. So it's not like it destroys the game in any way for me. It's just something that happens for me time to time, and it's just like
Oh, and then the other thing too, so like you do eventually unlock a homestead, and I won't get into like the details of how that happens because you'll get through there in the story. But you do unlock a homestead, and there's actually a lot of value in building that up. And that's like the process for this is actually fairly new to Assassin's Creed. Like you've always had like a home base before, but this is like dedicated buildings that if you don't level them up, you're actually screwing yourself. So like there's ways to make it so that you have more scouts, more efficient scouts, you have better weapons and armor, you have all sorts of stuff.
Can I tell you that this is a John thing, okay?
Oh, no.
I hate that part of the game the most.
But here's the thing, John. Here's the best part about the homestead. Every animal that you pet in the game unlocks in your homestead, and then you can put like a crap ton of them. Do you have any idea how many cats and foxes I have roaming my homestead right now that I can pet? Even little itty bitty baby kittens, because I found some baby kittens on the Isle of Cats. Like, there are animals everywhere, and it makes me so excited. But I think it's also it's a really smart way to bring back everyone that you're working with and kind of give them a purpose. Everybody has a purpose there, and I like that. It's not just like, oh, go back to my place and like be there, I guess. Like, they're actually giving you like, okay, here's your building, here's your purpose, here's your job, this is how you're going to help us move forward.
See, when it comes to video games, period, because it's not an Assassin's Creed thing, when it comes to building like a homestead environment, even like a game like Fallout 76, where as part of the game you have to build like a base of some kind, I never enjoy doing it. I don't want to do it. Like, it's just like, it's a waste of my time. I'm like,
yeah.
If there's games where it's forced, it's probably, from my side, it's the most minimalistic thing you've ever seen. It's that one house dropped here, a couple chairs randomly about. That's it. Other than that, it's just like it's a not for me system. There's nothing wrong with it. It is absolutely.
But you can be lazy about it. So like for you, you can be super lazy about it.
Everything is in the center, center of the block that you have. All my stuff is just dropped. Like, it's there. We good. I don't even care about this no more. I may never come back to it again unless I get to a mission that says you need to upgrade this. And say, all right, fine.
And this is where you and I are at odds, because mine is like, I tried to place the buildings in a way that makes sense, and I have like, here's my patch of cats over here, and I got a patch of bunnies over there. I got some foxes back here with some more cats. Like, I wander around. I see if anybody wants to talk to me as like either Naue or Yasuke, and I'll stop and I'll be like, oh, look, there's a cat, and I'll start petting the cat and like just chilling. Oh, there's another cat. Oh, there's a fox. Let me pet these animals. And now I'm walking over to the forge so I can like get one of my weapons engraved. And now, oh, there's another cat. Let me pet that as I'm on my way out. Like, I don't mind spending time there because it's really cute. And I feel like it's probably one of those really big, like, for the girls things, because I feel like that's just a girly thing. I love petting all the animals. So I take my time.
And like
I got to the Isle of Cats and I spent like 20 minutes petting every single cat. So
my homestead is the way it is because I was like, okay, I found a legendary weapon early on in the game, and I think its perk is that it does like bleed out damage total over the course of a fight, so it just keeps building it up. And I was sitting there like, okay, I got this, and it's a level 3 weapon, but I am now level 10. See how long that took me. I was like, I need to upgrade this. I know I can do it. I'm looking around the map. I'm like, there's no forges, nothing. Then I had to go Google. It's like, how do you do? It's like, you have to go to the homestead and create a forge. It's like, oh, so I have to make. Okay, that's the only reason I came back. And I think I have all of the at least the initial ones. I built something for all of them. And I was just like, I'm only here because you forced me to be here. Just understand that. If this forge didn't need it, I would never came back here.
But I mean, it's different play styles. You and I are different when it comes to things like that. As far as like the bad, I don't really think I've experienced much bad. I think it's a little frustrating sometimes when I walk up to a mission, they're like, actually, I want to see Yasuke. I feel like maybe some more warning before I just roll up on somebody would be nice. But I'm starting to get a feel for like which icons are his versus hers for side stuff. And now I thoroughly read everything before I go up to a marker so that I know who needs to be there. But for the most part, I will say I travel with Naue. She's fast. She's very fast. And just like you, I like running with her. And I beat down doors with Yasuke. And I love both of their stories. And I like how they're coming together so far. And I like the love interest as well. Like, I feel like it's not like none of the love interests are a forced path. Every conversation you have with them, you have a neutral option and a flirty option. You could choose to use them or not use them, and that's completely fine. And it gives you a lot of chances. And I like that, there's a person that Naue meets who's like a scrub. And like all of my early interactions with him, I'm like, no, like you're a scrub, like you need to chill. But later on, it's just like, oh, yeah, maybe like I'll throw you a bone. You're cleaning up a little bit. But it's like, it's a choice still. So I think that was another thing that a lot of people were really like hung up on was the romance options. You have to actively choose to flirt with someone, just like in real life.
And if you care so much, there is this little toggle in the very beginning
For
of the
canon
game
mode.
called canon mode,
Mhm.
where it tells you, hey, this don't even matter.
Yep.
So I mean, if you really care that much and you want to play the experience the way it was intended to be, where you have no
Yep.
choice, there is a mode called canon mode.
And do it. Have fun.
Have the time in the life. Have at it.
Yep. I will say though, I was a little frustrated in the beginning because there were a lot of people that I couldn't like just assassinate, and I feel like that was something that in Assassin's Creed, no matter how big someone was, like a knife to the neck is a knife to the neck. Like we're not doing like the 50 Cent 9 shots you survive kind of deal. Like a knife to the jugular is going to take you out. So I turned on the mode where like you can automatically assassinate anyone if you get the one up on them, because I feel like for me, does it make the game technically a little bit easier? Yes. But it also feels more like an Assassin's Creed game if I can just assassinate you because I get you in the right spot. And I feel like that's something she would know. Like she would know those spots to stab someone, to take someone down. With Yasuke, it doesn't really matter as much because if you turn around on me, I'll still kill you. And I have a weapon that does poison damage over time too. So while you're trying to fight me off, you're hurled like I think this is funny actually. When they're poisoned, they're like throwing up and stuff. So they'll stop mid-fight, start throwing up, and then be like, summon up the courage to try to fight me again, and I just stand there and wait for it. Sometimes. I'm just like, I'll let you finish. I got time today. Go ahead. I don't know. I feel like this is honestly like Mirage kind of lost me a little bit, and I know a lot of people really like that game, but for some reason the story for that one just didn't really pull me in. The story for this game brought me back. I love this game. I think I might make this top 3 on my list of Assassin's Creed games.
I am going to be honest, forefront. I don't think I'm gonna finish this game.
It's too big for you. You don't do big games.
It's big for me right now. Ayo. And at the same time, there's another game that I want to play right now. So you know, there's something I really want to play right now. I'm going to probably play this for a little while longer, but I don't think I'm gonna get to the end. That's just me being honest.
Why don't you just do straight story quests and skip the sides?
Because I don't feel like I'm able to do that based on how the game is playing out right now. Because like you, some of these side quests is like, it's interesting. You know? It's not like it's just like it's not like
not
generic
a fetch quest.
Keep doing.
They got rid of the generic fetch quest, which I like.
Yeah, like there was side quest which is more of a broad side quest, which is like, hey, like there are bandits in this territory, we need to kill these bandits. Cool, all right.
But it happened so naturally. I never had to try.
Yeah, and then
they ran up on me, and I was like, "What?"
And then something I discovered, like it probably happened during your stream, but I ain't even paying attention. But I went off on a side route, came through a town. All of a sudden, there was a dude with a skull, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna kill him. I stayed there for probably like 20 minutes and killed him just to find out that there's a whole nother circle besides the Unreal. And it's like, you just killed this dude, but you don't even know what organization he's a part of. I was like, oh, we can do things like that. Okay.
There are a lot of organizations. I think I've killed 3 full organizations so far, and there's still some circles outstanding, which I think lends to the corruption of the time. There's corruption all over the place, and there's greed, and there's a lot of politics involved in how things function in all these various areas of the map. And it's crazy because like I can drop like a screenshot of where my map is now. Like I have barely scratched the surface, and I've seen a lot and done a lot, which is crazy. And then like there's the DLC, the free DLC that you get from pre-ordering the game is supposed to be another 10 hours of playtime. That's going to be unlocking an island. So I'm like, dang.
So do we play the same way when, you know, first portion of the game taking place in this territory? As soon as you get that one mission that's like way over there, first goal, I gotta go to the point. I need to unlock the map. Forget the mission. The mission could wait. Yeah. Go to that point, but now it's like, damn. Now
I unlock every point on the path, and then I keep going. And if it's
I need that fast travel.
But I'm able to like kind of ignore the side quests for the most part, just because a lot of them are just like random things. I'll talk to the people just so I can pick it up, but I'll still keep moving forward to like my next quest. And the crazy thing is there's not a whole, like, yes, side quests open up, but it's not it's not like an overwhelming amount of side quests that pop up. It might be like 1 or 2 exclamation points and like this is something your character has to deal with at some point kind of thing. Like it's not an overwhelming like like Valhalla, where there's like 8 million things now that you have to do in this area.
And then one way that I enjoyed, I was watching somebody stream it, and there was a side quest that he got no type of notifications. This is just all happening in the world. He happened to be just chilling.
Oh, you hear a conversation?
Yep, he's listening to a conversation about
the
this
Skyrim
man.
method.
Yeah, this man standing on a bridge, and he just happened to just say, "Hey, you know what? Let me go explore." Like, there's a man standing on a bridge somewhere. It's a samurai that kills everybody. So he just decided, "Hey, let me just walk around." You know, he was running around for a little while.
I want beef. Let's do it.
He came across that bridge. There was a samurai there, a couple bodies around him, and I think that samurai was way higher level than he was. So it's a fight he started doing, and he's like, "Yeah, I can't do this right now," it's because their levels were so far apart. But even like side quests that pop up like that, I enjoy those more. I like that this game is not really. I feel like they do have a mode where it tells you this is where you go. That this more has like just a.
I turn that on as well, just because. Again, with how my ADHD is set up, I don't care how many times you tell me they're over there in that greenhouse, I'm gonna forget. just tell me exactly where the greenhouse is on the map. Like, but here's the thing. Yep. I think another thing that people were talking about is like so many random things, but the voice acting. I can't do the standard Portuguese Japanese while I'm streaming with the subtitles, because I feel like it's like the subtitles are too small for people to really understand what's happening, and I want people that are watching me to have a good experience. But when I'm just playing the game, because this is not a game I'm going to be doing stream only, I put on the Japanese and Portuguese voice actors, and let me tell you, the difference is like mind-blowing how much better the game is when you just have them. Like, it feels more appropriate. And I know people are like, oh, the accents. This is literally a Japanese American person speaking in English. If you thought that they were not going to have any kind of accent, you're nuts. That's not how that works when English is your second language. Like, they wanted to keep it authentic. And if you want to be mad about that, I don't know what to tell you. Authenticity is really important to me. Also, not historically accurate. No. Let's just stop with that. You know that's BS. First of all. Second of all, there's never been a point in time where an assassin fist fought the Pope. Altair did not exist. Ezio did not exist. Edward and Connor did not exist. None of them existed. There's no Eivor, Cassandra and Alexios. Like, none of that actually happened. So, like, can we just drop the historical accuracy comments, please? I had to let that out. The only historically accurate thing about these games is the buildings and where they're placed. They try to keep that because, you know, that's part of trying to create an authentic feel. But other than that, like, might you see some familiar characters? Yes. Is their portrayal of them in the game accurate? Loosely? Like, was Obunaga like a jerk? Yeah.
He says it himself.
Yeah, but like, he's like Thanos. He's trying to, you know, create peace with his Infinity Stone of armies. But like, I just feel like that's such a weird complaint. I just had to, I don't know. But there's also like, I forgot the tangent I was going on. So there's a lot of accessibility options in this game that I just greatly appreciate as a person that does have ADHD, that does have some auditory processing issues because of that. Because it created an experience that I don't have to feel like my neurodivergency makes it harder to play. Like them making, like, do I play the mini games on a simplified mode? No, because I'm hard-headed. But I can foresee a point where they might get just a little bit too much for me to keep going. Maybe not the kata, because those aren't so bad. But with the Kujikiri, because I have to remember, and now it's changing the buttons that it uses, like, I might eventually get to a point where, I need to make this a little bit easier for myself. But like, they actually put a lot of thought into how they created accessibility in this game. And I think that that's something really important to reflect on. Also, the weather's realistic. It's pouring rain, it's nighttime, I'm in the forest. Yeah, it's dark and wet. That makes sense.
I personally enjoy playing.
Is it foggy after? Yes. That's
when
also
a
realistic.
rainstorm happens.
Oh, because you're like, you can't be seen. They can't see you.
Not even that. It's maybe it's an ASMR thing. Like, it's just walking in the rain too. Like, it's just, it's just like, there's even times I'm just like, you know what? Let's just chill. Like, have her looking like Batman on the roof. Like,
You lost it. You lost it. No, it's fine. But like, I don't know. There's so many things to enjoy about the game that at this point, I just drown out all the other voices because they're loud. But the reality is, this one's on pace to be the best-selling Assassin's Creed game of all time if it continues with how it's going. And I know they keep saying players and not sales. That's the reality of games now. How many people have some kind of subscription service that they're not paying for? What I'd be interested to see is how many Ubisoft Plus accounts were open just for this game. Because that's also pull-through money, and that gives them more money over time. If they only play this game and, like most people, forget they have a subscription, they're making way more money off that person than they would if they just bought it. And full transparency, I bought the game. I bought the collector's edition of the game because for me, I have to own it. That's just, and eventually I'm gonna get like a hardcover copy of it just to have it because that's who I am as a person. Probably when it's on sale because I don't want to pay full price for it twice. But you know, it is what it is.
I'm gonna be one of those Ubisoft Plus people that forget about it. So.
Oh, I know you will.
Like I got it. I also want to play Star Wars, so that's why that was also the investment for me to get it. So it's like, I could play Assassin's Creed this way. Let me do it. Yeah. Then I can also play the Star Wars game I've been wanting to play.
And then there's going to be the Division game, which I don't know if you played those, but I'm excited for that too.
I'm not excited for Division. I'm just
breaking my heart.
Look. I play 1. I play 2. The problem is, as I always talk about, I'm a solo player. I play those games by myself. I didn't care for 2.
See, but 2 is where it's at. And I feel like for me, I had people to play with. Like, I had a solid squad of 4. We always played together. So it wasn't hard. And then I eventually joined a group of ladies that did the raids. So I got to do my lady raids like once a week. And I loved that.
The first one, I had that group. And it just became since we're all not playing at the same time, eventually you get this level gap, and that level gap is never fun. So that's probably like that happened in Destiny.
And
2.
we played at the same time all the time, so it wasn't.
Yeah, so that's when I kind of just phased out of the first one. The second one I came back to, but I just felt like it was just so much of the same for the second one that I never really gave it a lot more time than that. Like I probably played the first few hours of it, and then it was just like,
There are some good expansions for that. I think they actually just came out with one, or there's one coming out soon too. They're still making expansions for that Division 2.
I own it on my Xbox, but
shameful. Can't even play it. But yeah, so essentially, I love Assassin's Creed Shadows. It sounds to me like, John, so far you're enjoying it, but I feel like you got to get further into the game before you can really make it.
I would say, because my comparisons of everything I complained about comes from Odyssey and Valhalla. In comparison to those two, I think this is a way better product than Valhalla. I'm enjoying it a lot more than I did Valhalla. I feel like this is just the complete opposite of Valhalla, which is why it's attracting me. I'm enjoying the story. I'm enjoying the combat. Yes, there are some nitpicky things here and there that I have a problem with, but overall, I am enjoying the game. I guess like at this moment, even though it makes no sense to it, like if you had to ask me for a number, 7.5 out of 10. That's where I sit with it. So it might that number could fluctuate. It's only 11 hours in right now. It's probably not even right to give it a score right now. But that's where I sit right now.
Yeah. Oh, don't ask me to put a number on it. Oh no. I probably give it like maybe a 9. Like, for me, the game is everything that I wanted it to be. It's feudal Japan. It's what we've been asking for well over 10 years. And it has really good immersive stories for both sides for me. So I feel like this one's a good one. Like I said, this might be in my top 3 of Assassin's Creed games right now.
I feel like it's fair to say, if you are somebody who's watching this and sitting on the fence, if you like an Assassin's Creed game, you will definitely enjoy this. If you're looking for something more than that, then this is probably not for you. Yeah. That's how I feel about this game. Fine. So,
and if you don't like it, don't buy it.
Other than that, your 36 hours, 24 that took hours. Took
well, technically 20 hours with breaks and stuff. So 20 hours of that took place during my 24-hour stream.
So let's talk about that stream.
Oh yes, let's unpack that.
The chaotic murder mystery stream.
No, what'd you call it? Chaotic's 24-hour murder marathon? So I decided, because I was so excited about this Assassin's Creed launch that I was going to do a 24-hour stream on the day it came out because one, I wanted to try to get far enough in that I didn't get hit with spoilers because I spent the whole first half of the week avoiding every Ubisoft partner streaming this game to avoid spoilers. And two, just because I'd never done it before. So I was like, oh, like a new challenge. I took the day off work. I took the following day off work as well. And I decided to do a 24-hour stream. This is my very first one. I think the longest I'd streamed before that might have been like 8 or so hours. So there's a lot of things that I think I learned from the experience that might be helpful to you. One, I read a lot of tips and tricks about this before I started, so I was very prepared. I had snacks, like I had sweet snacks, I had salty snacks, I had anything that I could think of that I might want in that 24-hour span, I bought. I also bought myself a bunch of waters and sodas to keep in the mini fridge that I have here in my game room / office. And I was just really smart about it. Every hour on the hour, I have a 3-minute break for ads scheduled into my Twitch stream. I found that that's honestly the best way for me to do it, to avoid pre-rolls and also to kind of give everybody a break. Those 3-minute breaks, I took them. And sometimes I would take just a little bit longer to get back. So I made sure I got up. I went to the bathroom. Like, if anybody was awake in the house, I was checking, what was happening in the house. I was disconnecting myself from what was happening for a little bit before coming back into it. And I feel like that helped me a lot. I was also really lucky that during that whole 24-hour span, there wasn't any point in time when I was alone. There was always somebody there with me, and that helped a lot because they were keeping me going. They were chatting with me. They were asking me about the game. I got rated by some really wonderful human beings that are like mutuals on Twitch, which was really exciting. So they also brought more people in and kind of joined in on the fun. We had a lot of chatting there. So I would say, one, make sure you get plenty of sleep the night before. Number one thing is if you are not well rested, you are going to be screwed. And like, I got really good sleep the night before. And then I also made sure that when I started the stream the following day, it wasn't long after I woke up. So I woke up at about 9:30 in the morning. My stream started a little bit after 10. That helped because I wasn't spending all these extra hours and making it so that 24 hours became 26 hours straight of being awake, or 28 hours or 30 hours. Like, you need to make sure that this is something you start shortly after you wake up in the morning. Making sure I stayed hydrated. I drink more water than anything. I'm not really a caffeine person. Caffeine doesn't really help me a whole lot. Sugar does. And that just might be an ADHD thing. So I drank a lot of water. I probably, over the course of that 24 hours, drank over 3 liters of water, which is, I don't know, maybe more than I needed. I got to a point where I really had to pee like every single break, but it was fine. I'm happier to be well hydrated than not.
Got to the point you decided you wasn't hydrating no more.
Yeah, yep. That like last hour, I was like, no more water. Like, I can't do it because I'm not gonna be able to sleep. And then also, as soon as it was done, I was like, all right, I'm good. Like, I've got my clips set to the side. I'm going to sleep. And I went to sleep immediately after that so that my body can kind of retrack itself. And by the end of that following day, like, I was able to go to sleep at night like normal and get back to like a mostly normal sleep schedule. I don't know. So yeah, for the most part, I had a great experience, but I think maybe for me, I was also lucky. I think I ended up with like 7 average viewers per hour for that stream, which is, I wasn't expecting it to do as well as it did. But I got really lucky, and yeah, it was good. It was a good experience for me, and I made it, which was nice.
Yeah, being on the opposite end of it, I see who the true you were, and I learned how you play Assassin's Creed, and it was a fun experience seeing that person. I don't know where that person resides. I don't know where that
my inner rig.
It's just all coming out because everybody had to go. Like I told her, if you were watching, if there was no respawns, the world would have been clear. Nobunaga army would have been gone. He wouldn't even have army no more.
So sometimes I would see guys in the street, and I'm just like, all right, you gotta go. You gotta go. You're not doing anything to me, but you gotta go. Like, I did my eagle vision, and I saw that you were red, so now you need to be gone. It's fine. But I don't know. And I think it also helps, like, for me, I know a lot of people, when they do a 24-hour stream, they plan like different games and activities to do throughout that full 24 hours. For me, I knew that playing something like Assassin's Creed, because it's like my favorite gaming series of all time. It's probably like a really close tie between that and Mass Effect. I knew that I was going to be able to play it for 24 hours and be fine. And I did. And I barely even touched anything in the game in that time period, which is crazy to me. like I said, like I think I got Yasuke maybe like an hour or two before the stream was done. I finally got to the point where I unlocked him as a playable character.
And for those of you who are seeing this, that's because of how she chose to play the game. Okay, it does not take that long to get to Yasuke. All right, it's half the time. Okay.
I mean, I may have gotten distracted by some castles and some side quests and some people that needed murdering. So I have nothing to say for myself, but I made sure that I righted some wrong.
She had fun. That's all that matters.
I did.
She had fun. That's it. That's all that matters. Because I definitely sat there, was watching, like, yo, this is gonna take me this long.
Yeah, but you saw like portions of what I was doing was definitely not story-based quests. Like I got to some castles way before I was even supposed to go anywhere near them because I was just like, oh, let me go hit this eagle point. Oh, it's actually inside of this castle. Well, I guess I'm just gonna kill all these people and then get to it. I'm here anyway.
I spent a solid maybe hour and a half going into a castle trying to get this chest to figure out who the samurai daimyo was, and you know, just to find out my game was bugged and one of the daimyo didn't never spawn. So that was a fun experience.
So now we've potentially game-breaking bug. Did they appear when you restarted them?
After I fast traveled to a different location and came back, he appeared. But
the good thing about it is with those samurais, it like if you kill one and then walk away for like a long while and come back later, like the one that you killed doesn't respawn. You still only have to kill like however many are left, which I think is good.
That was my first experience with the castle. It's one of those things of like I watched you do it, but it didn't click. What was happening while watching you do it? You know, it's just like I said, because the way I chose to watch it is because I tried to avoid as much as I could. Was just listen to what you're doing, come back, see what you're doing. Yeah. But like, so a lot of the stuff I saw you do felt like I was missing context, which was beautiful for me. So even like when I was playing it, I just felt like I have no idea what's happening. I heard it. I remember this part. I remember him talking, but I didn't know all this. Like when that person dies, I was like, fire in a building with a sword fight. What? And
then how it actually ends?
Yes.
Crazy.
Yes. So, I mean, I don't know what I enjoy it. You enjoy it. You had an amazing 24-hour stream. Yep. You have parted some wisdom on people who are going to do it next. Not me. Throwing it out there. Not me.
John, let's just get this clear right now. John is not built for that.
You might see me napping like throughout it. So I mean, if I do it, you may see like just nap time across the screen with the timer. So you know.
Sorry, I think people sleep on stream. You get in trouble for that somehow, but like I've seen it.
I'm just having old gameplay clips. So you know, that's what's going on. I'm being in the box, napping in the corner. Like, yeah, I'm still playing the game. There's still a game being played here. That's how we're gonna do it.
Maybe.
Beat this game, the system somehow.
But yeah, overall, I had a good experience. But like I said, I was very prepared. I made sure to get up and move. And also, I feel like that's a heart health thing too. Like to keep the blood pumping in your body. Like you really do need to stand up, move around once every hour. Like I know it's really easy to sit hunched over a desk and just keep playing, or sit wherever you are and just keep playing, but it really is bad for you. I mean, I've seen stories of people like literally keeling over when they're at those 24-hour game cafes. Like, don't let that be you. Get up, move around. For me too, it also helps. I have redemptions on my channel for hydration, for stretching, and what's the other one? Posture check, to kind of sit myself back up straight. So I had people spamming those all throughout to make sure I was staying on top of taking care of myself, so that helped too. But I really do have like, I have to say, I feel like I probably have the best community on Twitch. Like I'm surrounded by some really incredible people. So they were, I think, more worried about my well-being than I was at times because it was such a long period of time to be gaming, but I do appreciate all of them.
And with that, I think it's time to come to an end. As said, if you missed the beginning, Daredevil this week, we're just not a lot happened. So we're going to push that to next week. 2 episodes.
And hopefully something happens so that it's not.
You get us talking about Daredevil for longer. Yeah. I'm talking specifically to you. You know who you are. So that has been another episode of the Chaos Within podcast.
All right. So I guess that turns it back over to me. So from me and John here, we want to tell you to embrace the chaos within. And, you know, if you can't do it in a way that's legal, just do it inside of Assassin's Creed. That's fine. best way to get your rage out. Have fun, everybody. Bye.